Persons, Maya. Hello, people.
Everybody, how y'all doing?
I'm feeling
Hey
good. Seem like
y'all.
we rocking out on the same thing today,
Yeah, I
Mr.
know. Yeah,
Person.
yeah.
Seem like we're. Oh man, I know that we really cannot see anything while we are on here, unless like people got to comment like what 12 times for us to be able to see anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull up the live video on my computer so that way I can see who comments right when they comment instead of us taking like 80 years to see. Oh, but we do got some in already. Antonio, what's up? Hello. Sane, what's up? Hello.
How's everyone?
Sane
How's everyone
is
day going? Happy
yeah,
Tuesday.
she's a big Sane is amazing. And so are you, Antonio, although I don't know you that much. But how is everybody doing today? I know that, I got to get this little shout out. It has been a hard time in life as we all do go through our problems for one of my great coworkers and teammates in this, situation of teaching that we do. So I just want to say, I hope that you are well. I hope that you are finding that reassurance that you need. And I hope everything's going well for you. I love you. G channel. Hey, blessed. How are you? We hanging in there, and that's all we can do in a time like this. I love you all so much.
I,
I'm
I,
fine. How are you guys? How was y'all week today?
I
I'm
can
doing.
go.
Go ahead.
I've been everything's just been so up and down. Like
I've been.
everything has been so up and down these last couple of days. Like I'm fighting with my job about my check. My check got messed up, and I have so much stuff to pay for this week, and it's a lot. But I'm here, so I thank God for that. I'm here. We're gonna do
Yes.
this today. We're gonna have fun. How are you, Mr. Person?
I'm doing good. I mean, I had a good day. Got a lot of work done, so I can't complain. Now I'm ready for this and to end my day.
Well, I would, as much as I would like to say this is the end of my day, it's not. As soon as this is over, I gotta shoot to the gym for an hour, 2 hour workout. Then after coming back home at 9 o'clock, I gotta take my sisters out because it's their birthday. And five, probably not even a 5 second ago thing, I was on a Zoom class. So it is what it is.
We
And it only gets like this at the night part of my day. So I'm definitely, running rampant with it. But yeah, definitely ready to get into some Tech Tuesdays. So without further ado, we're gonna give it over to Mr. Persons. Mr. Person, what are we learning about today?
all right. What I got in store for y'all today? I got like a mini project for y'all to do.
Okay.
And it's real simple, basic. Anybody can do it. All it is collecting information, cleaning it, and presenting it. That's basically all it is. And it's typical something you might a job later on down the line. You might need to collect data, learn how to present it, and little things, and you'll already know thanks to Tech Tuesday. So
So, what will they need in order to participate? Because I plan on following along from my laptop today. But what will some people need in the chat if they want to follow along?
well, all you need for real is a phone, the internet, for real. Just like something you can browse the web with. So
Okay. So again, all we need is the internet. Do all devices work for this? Because I know some things are best done by computers, or some things are best done by phone. Do all devices work for this? And can yeah,
well, I've tried every device and it works. Computer, tablet, phone.
does all devices?
So basically all of the mains that you need is just like something that you can browse the internet with. May it be a phone, laptop, tablet. So what I want to do is like you can find anything that intrigues you, anything that you're into. So what I found was I found the most followed on Instagram. So I'm gonna show how I did it. Because all I did was a simple search on Google. Just like how you would search for sneakers, goats, bags, whatever. Just like a simple Google search. So I searched in most followed on Instagram.
And he don't even give y'all. Oh, I missed the person. I just wanted to let everybody in the chat know that he doesn't even give y'all like the person who does have the most followers because I swear they shot me. I had no idea that she had the most.
Mr. Person, is there any way for you to share your screen?
Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm ready to pick right now. So I'm trying to see if I can, because the browser I'm on is only trying to allow me to share to that browser. I'm working on that browser.
Even at Tech Tuesday, we have technical difficulties.
Yeah, I know, right? But like I got everything set up, but it's not on this browser.
While we're waiting for Mr. Person to get his stuff set up, Bless said that they think that the most followed person on Instagram was either Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande.
Can I break it to her?
Not yet, not yet. You gotta let them. You gotta let it sit. You gotta let it marinate a little bit more because
Well,
they're gonna
look,
be
all
they
this
gonna be shocked.
marinating, I want y'all to know y'all gonna be so surprised because I really was so ready. Like when he told me who it was, I was like, no, because I know who it is. It's this Spanish soccer player. Wrong.
So
I swear I was right. I swear I was right, and I was wrong.
It's crazy because we was looking and
yeah,
I didn't expect for that to be.
I don't even know where she found the time to get on these followers. I think she cheated. I know she did. Oh, here.
Real Spill said Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was.
I think that's on Wikipedia, but that was as of March.
It's not even Kylie.
I think the one I got was the one of 2021. That's where it was. Because it might be that one. I'm gonna do a new one now so I can get everything. I'm not gonna do what I had before. So I'm gonna pull a new one so we can learn all this together.
I'm excited. Asita, hey Asita. Yes, it is April. Bless, but like that wasn't that long ago. We only been in April for like 5 days. Like when you think about it. In April, y'all, why did it do it for like the months is going by real fast?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, so the thing is, right? Once I hit a certain age, and that age was like 16, I realized everything. Basically, in my head, 60 seconds is a minute. A minute is a minute, and 60 minutes is an hour. And we only get 24 of them in a day. So time start moving fast. And I don't know what's wrong with me or what happened. But I literally just got into that concept that 60 seconds is a minute. 5 minutes used to be a long time. I was just doing I was supposed to look a little bit more decent than this. We had 5 minutes to take out the last 5 grades. It's some hiding in there if you don't know. I'm glad you don't, but it's some hiding.
So it's not allowing me to share my screen. Ever. So what we can do, I can do a step by step right here. So what we're gonna need is if you got a phone, you're gonna need to you're gonna have to have a Google so you can have some way to get all the information, to like collect all the information. And you can sign up for RStudio Cloud for most who don't know, that's where you can do a lot of the work, and instead of going step piece by piece and just solidifying the ones that you want, you can take it to our studios and have the computer solidify it as in groups instead of you just going through one by one trying to put everything. You can tell the computer this is what you want and it'll do it for you.
That
So
sounds like some real deal next level technology that we do have access to at the moment,
and
such as iPhones.
yeah, you can use this. I do it on my iPhone too, so you can do it on anything, and everything is free. So
Mr. Person, can you tell them exactly what they'll need? Like, if they're gonna do it from like a phone or a laptop, because I plan on doing mine from my phone.
okay, so all you need is like on your phone right now. You can go to the browser. I'm pretty sure you already have Google, so that means you have access to Google Docs and files, sheets, and whatever else you might need. But sheets is what we're going to mostly be using because that's how they map out the data, and it's more easy. It's more easy to read in sheets. So you can like go on Google and look up most followed on Instagram data sets. I mean, you can pick a year, 2022. Use 2022.
So, who has the most followers in 2022? Hold on.
And I think he was right.
It changed. Yeah, it's back to the footballer, Cristiano
Because he
Ronaldo.
was number 4 when I looked. So,
Huh?
but when I was doing it, the data set I got. But when you look this up, what you want to look for is like Data World is a good open source place you can look where it's like credible and it's free, like, and it's public basically. So
You said
that's where I get a lot of my data sources from. Data World.
And Mr. Person, I forgot to ask because I think it asked me. Um, do we need to sign up for Data World? Or
Dude, I'm saying, probably, yeah. It will be wise to do it because if you're going to do more things with data sets, it's good to have access to this. So that is another one because it's multiple ones that you can gather from. That some of them probably you won't need to log in, but this is better if you log in because it has a lot of access to it has access to a lot of different data.
okay. Now, Mr. Persons, I'm sad to hear about the technology, you know, the tech difficulties, but I do think it is a time to have a nice discussion about how data and time can be used together, or at least how they, coexist.
Uh, I mean, yeah, because it's. I mean, you can't have one without the other because without time, you wouldn't have a permittable data set because over time you collect a certain amount of data. So
Yeah.
like how every year it's like a basically a data update because it's a new year because it's a new time. So it's like they coexist. So
Understood. So again, when we look at like cool superhero movies and you see all the numbers and letters coming down the screen, shooting down the scales of the keyboard and screen laptop, Is that truly what data is, or is that a fictionalized version of it?
Oh no, that's really raw data. That's raw like it the what you see on Instagram and right now, you see it right here, it has a raw form, like a base form. And that base form is basically like a whole bunch of numbered lines of code, basically.
Mhm.
Because code is basically like a chain reaction to get an end result. Like I wish I can share my screen because I would show like everything that I did and I rerun it so you can see how it works. All right, all right, data
So,
manipulation. All right, I see your question. The data manipulation and raw data between raw data and what has been manipulated is just like the original and a remake. Like the original is where it all come from. When you manipulate it, you remake it, but it's like better tools to help generate information. So when you like working with data, you sometimes you when you start in like a project, you want to work with that raw data set because it because you can work with that and not have so many other people manipulate it. And like say like if I need something, like if I do my data set and I want to follow all celebrities that are actors, and you want to follow all celebrities that are musicians, you can't you really when I manipulate the raw data, you're not going to really benefit a lot from what I manipulated, but you will from the raw data because I want the actors and you want the musicians. So that's like basically the difference.
okay, so does the data set change and evolve over time, and they also make a huge contribution to pretty much everything they do as far as technology, if not the entire underbelly.
The contribution to data and everything, like now it's like it's a lot, like because it's not just writing it down anymore. It's in the computer and sending it halfway across the world. It's like so it's way faster to connect and communicate and like basically just share it.
Understood.
So,
So, and last question, kind of, concerning data and time at the same time. Do you think data or technology period would be as far as it is without the consistency or concept of data, or would you still be far off just in a different way with a different thing?
I mean, I think no, I think now like with like how it moves, it's a lot of trial and error, and that's one of the greatest things in technology you can have, because if you I mean experience is the best teacher. So if you go through in the trial and error, it like just like a practice run, you know what you need to fix, and you got to learn how to fix it. And a lot of that is with data. Like it's a lot of like on Instagram, it's a lot of algorithms they put out there to flag things. Like so they're basically like running code to flag this, but to stop like say like you might show too much skin, but it's not on a provocative picture. They have a algorithm to well basically a code to weed through and judge if that's credible, if that's available, well, if that's
If
appropriate.
it fits the criteria of the
Right.
post or their
So,
algorithm.
so and every day, like people, Photoshop and everything. So every day that code has to get better
It keeps
because
working.
exactly because every day somebody else is trying to beat that system. That's just like everyday life experience, trial and error. So it happens every day within every data. So like,
Understood.
Okay,
So
about that.
yeah.
Actually, Greg, I have a question really quickly since we're on that. You know, a lot of us have spams. Like a lot of us have spam accounts.
Yeah.
Greg, don't look like that. A lot of us have spam
Cause we
accounts.
try to keep those private, but we can talk about that later.
It's not I'm not gonna tell all the secrets, but like with them, a lot of people get deleted very, very often. And I know you said that there is a code that matches their criteria of algorithm, but what happens if that code is wrong? Like, what happens in the case that that code is wrong? Because I know a lot of people try to appeal to like get their accounts back to Instagram. Not many people do,
yeah.
but like, how does that work exactly?
I mean, typically when it's like a system you run it through, and that system basically feeds out like if it's good or not. So I was just working with data right now, like where as though I run it through a system and it gives me an error if this is okay to move it or what's broken or whatnot. And I have to go in, like I have to go in and read the code to see what it's telling me. Like so basically what I'm with that they from my well I can't really say because I don't work with Instagram, but from my knowledge, they would have to go in and see what's wrong. Like the computer will literally tell them what's wrong. I know in everyday eyes, people don't see it. As the computer telling, they just see a whole bunch of stuff. But the computer tells you what's wrong and like literally what's the problem. So you have to go in and basically solve that problem. And sometimes they have no way to solve that problem. That's why most people don't get their accounts back because they like, oh, I can't fix it. Like so they just like, oh, make a new one. I can't do it. So
That's interesting. I never knew that Instagram smart was if we can't fix it, give up the list, they can make it. That's new. I also have where another question popped up. Um, so mechanics and data are completely different, but can coexist great. And I would like to know exactly what type of data pattern are we looking like coming to our car next what, 2, 3 years? Because right now there's an essential amount of data in the car, and it used to never be any data in the car. Back then, cars were built by mechanics and were built by engineers. Now there is engineering and tech put in one vehicle, and we can look at the Tesla or you know modern day on those types of cars definitely do have a lot of tech. And
right.
is that good or bad for mechanics? How far do you think it'll go with?
I think that part is great for mechanics because it's basically the car has the ability to tell you what is wrong. Like and like that they all first like cars always had like a built-in data system because they got check engine lights, headlights, left blinkers. That's all like a system, like because you hit something and that's telling something else to turn on. That's basically like a computer. So the car's always been like that. Like, I mean, well, not always, because when it first started, hand signals and everything, so they
Yeah,
really didn't have it. So through modern days, but as we evolve with technology, it gets even better. Like especially for mechanics, because mechanics now they can come, you can pull your car in, they can come tap on the computer, and the whole problem is right there. You don't need a mechanic to be like, oh, let me hear it. All right, that sound like this. Like I don't need that really no more because the computer will tell you, like especially Teslas. Teslas will tell you, like this is wrong, like this is what's going on, this need to be replaced. Like so, like coming into the age we are now is favorable in some professions. Like I ain't gonna say it's favorable in all professions because some over technology, a lot of people losing their jobs, like factories and everything like that. But somebody got to run those machines, so it ain't like jobs is forever gone.
I feel like um, as far as factory machines and things like, I feel like we should cut down on making them because making more jobs for humans, or at least have a human responsible or on payroll to control one of the machines that is taking this, something like that, to make more jobs and create more money and work opportunities for everyone. But that's just me, and this is not a heal the world type of conversation. This is between tech and data.
Real Spill said in the chat, technology is basically taking over, and that's extremely true. So that brings me to a question that I have for you, Mr. Person. Um, how is that kind of data evaluated? Since we're talking, like, we're on the topic of Instagram, specifically because I looked up the most like likes on a picture, and up until February 2022, it was an egg
I
on
was going to
Instagram.
say that. Wasn't
Mm.
it the egg? Yeah. So
Yeah, an egg.
that
That
was, I know why they did it.
I don't know why the egg was like most, but
I
usually
get
it's to see what the people want. Like that's that in my eyes, that's what Instagram is for, to see what people want. Like, because on Instagram you see what basically a lot of people see what they want to do in life. That's mainly a lot of people be following people who they want to be like or want to share profession of, like. So, and everybody who posts, they post on, doing everything. It's never not really no bad stuff posted on Instagram unless it's like violence or anything. Like,
yeah.
so it's to give people like, yeah, to really want to know what people like, because that's what I think that's what Instagram was built for, to see what everybody across the world really like.
The the reason why the egg was the most liked is because Kylie Jenner had the most liked post in Instagram history at at a time. And so this dude took a picture of this regular older brown egg and just said, hey, if Kylie Jenner can get a like, so can this egg. And wouldn't it be a surprise that at least two times people that liked the post agreed with him like this? So that's why an egg, it was the most liked picture on Instagram in recent history. I think it might have gotten surpassed. I'm not sure. Also, Blessed Wild said that she liked that. So she was one of those people who agreed with him. And hard truth is, I liked it too. What? That's how
So,
I knew because I did it. I partook in that. So what?
I mean, but what is that? What does that communicate to you? Tell me what that communicates to you about social media in relation to data. How does it influence your life personally?
Data and all so tied all together. Oh, okay. Um, I feel like data can definitely work towards, different algorithms in it. Like I would say, different people like certain things and they see it a different way. And I just feel like the power of persuasion definitely works in it too. Just like we talk and tell them how good data is. And it is good. Even when you're telling the truth, you're still persuading someone to do something, to better act. It doesn't matter. So in that moment, I just would say a human told other humans a certain story that was true, and he got their, you know, allegiance by like photos. So data can help you there.
A way that data has influenced my life is it's made my life easier in a lot of ways. So particularly like when I think about, and that's actually another question I have for you after we have this discussion, Mr. Person. Um, like when I think about how I use data and how I interact with it, there isn't a day that I don't interact with data. And
Yeah.
um, that was actually something that I was talking to one of my teachers about. Like, we don't pay attention to the smallest things in life that are actually so important. Just going to tap a photo, like going to catch the bus, going to catch an Uber, like that all collects data. That all collects data and it all stores data. Um, and so, like, even with Tech Tuesday just starting back up, it has already taught me to be extremely mindful of the things that I do with technology because every data is getting collected all the time. There's data being collected right now as we're speaking. But a way that has made my life, like how I've interacted with data, is it's made my life easier. Like the calculator that we use in math class has made my life extremely easier. I don't have to I know particularly like a lot of us we use a lot of like T89, T83, whatever. But like Desmos is an online graphing calculator and I have so much data stored from there because I've used it consistently over the last 2 years.
Them
So yes. Overall data, like data collection, like playing with data, it's made my life easier. Mr. Pracer, how do you interact with data?
I mean, I mean, my daily job is interacting with data, but but data is in my everyday life. Like, I'm a gamer, so it's in my everyday life. So, and more, I mean, I talk on the phone, text, Instagram, but how data changed my life was, man, it when I learned, well, it changed my life more drastically as I got older because I learned to understand it more and I learned to do more with that knowledge than I could when I was younger. Like me doing this right now, like this me tapping into data has allowed me to explain and get others to tap in. So it not only changes my life, it allows me to change others too. So and I don't have to be in person with a person to do that. So I have a more reach than I would have if I was just like walking outside. So it it changes a lot.
So taking it a little bit further, I want to know if how do we see data in other professions in other professional and non-professional settings?
I mean, you see, all right. In non-professional setting, I see data as like I like how I play the game, how the game runs and everything. And non-professional, that's how I'm the judge on how the data's running, like how the mechanics work, like does it allow me to do, like so like I like how I be playing 2K and the mechanics, some of them be so real, it be lifelike, like, but that's how much data has evolved. Like it allows it a lifelike character to actually move like a life, like real life. Like, and I play basketball, so I critique the data and what it can do by what you really can do in basketball.
I always thought 2K, like I don't like 2K personally. I'm more of a Fortnite kind of person because that's really the only game I know how to play. I've been playing Fortnite for probably like 4 years now. Yes. But I never I never really understood like there's data that goes into that too.
Yeah,
Like
and
all of those old games that I was playing and stuff, or like I would be so happy when I won the battle if I was doing a solo or a duo. I would be so happy. But how I guess another question that I have, and
wait,
it's
can I
because
say
these questions.
something? Can I say something?
Sure. Yeah.
First things first. What? Fortnite, really, you have disappointed me and let me down. I have so much time. None of my favorite. Oh,
But
I'm not really a gamer girl. Like,
I
I'm
understand.
not.
in another way,
You could have played the Frozen game. And I would have been
in
so
another way,
disappointed.
another way data can be used in like a professional setting. It's like basically, I'm gonna say like I work for like a self care clinic. It was like, but I was basically their data. I would log in all their entry, like so. I was their data conversion. Like I had to take it from their paper to computer, so they can just log in on the computer and log in everything like that. So I was helping them better perform professionally with data by logging this on the computer and running this. Now they don't have to keep up with these papers. So now if somebody spilled coffee and ruined the paper, it's not a bigger deal because everything logged in data on the computer. So in a professional setting, it could be a big help.
Okay. Now, thing is, with my professional settings, it is not needed at all. Now, as far as mental data, sure. But as far as technology, it's not needed at all. Now, it can be a big help. 'Cause technology, I feel like it can advance anything that's connected, but it's not needed. I'm a facilitator. I talk to pretty much, teenagers, high school students every week. And who I'm speaking to and teaching them different life lessons and teaching them how to be an entrepreneur and be successful in whatever you want to do. That's a lot of conversation. Data would help that conversation or smooth the process along. But as far as needed, it is not. So that's, I would say, the only profession that I do that is not needed, you know, by or data is not needed. But being in the studio, I'm surrounded by nothing but technology and playing the game. I have friends out from that. Like it's a big prize at the end. But that takes a lot of data. And I see the score being written down. I know that that's something data. Also, I noticed that in the chat, two women, Rose Bill and Brooke Wild, they said they play GTA. All GTA is a game that is completely measured down. Now, subpar, but completely measured down by data. Does anybody have a certain thing that they do that they love that does not involve data or data is not needed? Yeah, you can't spend time on your phones, can't watch TV, you can't be on computers. Reading a book ain't bad.
I'd say reading a book and painting because I actually do like to read and paint outside of everything else. But my top hobby is listening to music. I listen to music every single day.
Believe
Like,
it or not, you don't need data to listen to music. You
why
just
not?
have you just have to do it the right way.
Well, I use Apple Music, so
See,
I know
that's not right.
they
I
got all
love
my
that music. My playlists are stopped and everything is set. But as far as listening to music, yeah, y'all can kill me for this. I've never been to a concert, but concerts, club nights, and by club nights I mean like nice, sophisticated clubs. They probably don't produce their alcohol, and there's like a stage, and that's where like smooth jazz or like I would gospel singers. it doesn't matter. You get yourself there, or you have somebody thinking that you know you love, and those things, moments like that are amazing, and that's why I am looking into finding one. I can't find too many moments, but I need me a singers lounge or a club like that, or I could purchase some tickets to a concert.
Okay.
I have a question, and this question was actually sent to me from a friend who's watching, but she doesn't want to comment because she's too nervous. She said, I'm going to read it. She said, taking it further with Instagram data analytics, let's say an account has 50 million followers but only gets 1 million likes. Why is that? And does it have anything to do with data? That's a good
cannot
question.
give my take on it as far as knowing the algorithm for Instagram, and you do yours for actually doing it.
I mean, how you said 50 million? I mean, it's a lot of like as they would say robots. Like you know how you sign up for something or you log in and you got to make sure you're not a robot. That's because a lot of people put like basically like spot fillers, and those spot fillers might make up most of your followers. That's why it may seem somebody have way more followers than they really do.
That's
And that's why you get the 50 million followers, but only a million likes. That's because only probably roughly a million are actual people.
okay. Um, that's really depressing. That's personal feelings. I thought I could keep while give with pressing the button, and then I do it. Okay, so I also know that of those 50 million, those likes are like even if they like it, Instagram will unlike it. Um, sometimes your account will be regenerated down within a second. You'll lose some followers that you have interacted with in a long time. Not to mention some people just you'll get a follow probably because you've seen that person, you met that person, or because that person just like the content. But that does not mean that they are going to interact with their page all day, every day, post that you post. That is just not going to happen.
Okay. So I do have a question for you both.
Ooh.
And it's like a two-part question, really, because I think like I'm just coming up with this. Something that we haven't discussed, like even in our planning meetings, is how to safely use and navigate data. Like we've never discussed that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we are in the second week. We didn't get too well. Really
Now,
strong with no data.
Fair.
okay, like all right, it is guidelines that's some are already set in some of the search engines. That's why like when you go search, you don't just pop up on the dark web. Like so it is like guidelines that the search engines have to protect you. So you don't have to go through the extra mile yourself. But if they didn't have like it is like still some safety precautions. That's why they say don't meet up with strangers on the internet. Like it is some things like people say that give you like cautions and safety precautions on how to navigate the internet. Don't believe everything you hear. You know, you see a shady site, don't really give it your social security, so, like stuff like that. So it's stuff that's like they put in everyday life, like jokes, TV, movies, that gives you a notification on the safety and how to direct safely through the internet. So some of them may be like on my end, it would be how like I only get data from open source locations. So
That's exactly what I was going to ask you, right? Before I do answer the question, I was going to ask, is the dark web real?
yeah, yeah.
We're going to have a conversation, man.
I advise you not go looking for the dark web because they
I
will
want to
come
see
look
what
for
it
you.
look like. I want to see what their theme picture
Right.
is. I want to know who the post is. That's all I'm doing. I don't want to buy enough for it. Yeah. Anyway, so back to the question. Um, what are the safe options? First of all, TV shows like that shit said,
Mhm.
and we know, don't like if you've ever seen or heard, because you can go through things from hearing that other people go through in their lessons. Um, if you've ever seen or heard someone in particular argument, get into an argument or altercation with someone else, and that person still wants to nag them on, what do they do in this day and age, especially as far as teenagers? They create other pages to do it. Fake pages, fake names. Shoot, some people even do that just to stir the pot of things that aren't even started. So it's imperative that you do not listen to everything that you hear and don't believe everything you see, because Photoshop is real. Um, Photoshop is real. Editing is a thing. And remember those Disney Channel shows where we will finally see the main character of the show get some shine, spotlight on the show, get the words ever twisted, and remember, like, oh, this isn't what I stand for, this, that, and the third. That's real. And those are nothing but warnings if you choose to live that life and get into any type of spot. So be careful. And me personally, I take my reputation very seriously. I try to have my fun, but I stay away from pretty much everything.
But mostly traveling the internet. Mainly, I say a little advice is leave the spam messages alone. That's that. Well, a lot of people already know that, but I don't open spam because I got spam that come from me, and it ain't even my name. Like, so I'm like, just, but yeah, stay away from spam messages. But
Also,
Google, Google
messages expand are the same thing. So stay away from that. Real still a question. She said, so basically, the dark web is the bed, the internet. Is she
yeah,
at?
but I mean, it's underneath the bed. That's what the dark web is. It's underneath the bed,
Bro,
but on
we
the
gonna
most,
have a conversation after this. I can't wait.
but but data intake is a thing. That's basically just like data collection, and that's you can control that on depending on what you're collecting. Like um, well, yeah, any data intake you really can control because you can set like, all right, that's enough. Like I don't want to intake anymore. That's my cat. So you can set a cap for data intakes. Like I want to survey 100 people. So that's the I'm only doing 100. That's controlling the intake right there. So yeah, and it is.
So, Mr. Person, you know how Instagram has these insights, and some of these questions are mine, y'all, because I'm curious. You know how like Instagram has insights? Is that a form of data, and is that data set a part of another data set? Because it seems like it's so small. Like it's just it's like just how your account is doing kind of in
Right.
comparison to all these other accounts on Instagram. Like, is that a data set in? Is that data set controllable?
So I think Instagram to a certain point is the data intake itself because you think as soon as you sign up, it's collecting data. I mean, it's kind of controllable, but I don't know because they can shut it down anytime they want. They can stop collecting data. Like so I think it is. And anytime I believe it is controllable because certain things can get posted on Instagram, but yet they still do. And so it's a that's like a thin line, and I'm not really on that line yet. I ain't gonna say I ain't there, but
Uh, Also, I see this comment from you, Mike. Cookies are a way. that they measure data. Now I know everybody's seen it on a favorite clothing store or some streaming app. Like, oh, we use cookies here. That is basically you're a cookie, and they're counting for you. And everything you do is being stored, tracked, and dated down into their system and their data. Um, and they're pretty much, there. And so they can keep track of you, and that's how you're the cook of it. Now, some sites also do buy sell cookies and use them like, marketing chips, but that's just, you know,
Y'all
keeping.
will never see me click accept ever again.
Yeah,
I'm declining all them cookies. I don't want to be a cookie. I don't want to
but
be a cookie.
that's basically like storing everything in a certain place. They just call it cookies because all the cookies might go in a jar. Like so, convenient name, and who don't like cookies? Like so they just try to do that, but that's a basic way that they collect information. Like
Shoot, I can tell
who,
you, a lot of the things that are collecting information are nice things. I'll give you two. Taxes is definitely one.
Mhm.
They're collecting
Yeah.
so much information and money through that work. Um, and the other thing that I think of in the moment, if you might know someone who's on government assistance, food stamps are a way to, collect information.
Right. So it was breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so food stamps and taxes are technically the government's cookies, and
Yeah,
that's the way that they collect information, data, and store.
yeah, definitely.
I believe we all
Texas is
get
a
a
big one.
chocolate chip or a hazelnut or oatmeal one food, but never again, as Maya said, never again will she be a.
But Texas more like your browser history because they want everything that you did.
And I don't understand that because how do you expect me to remember all the stuff I spent money on in 1 year?
You get
Yeah,
I
receipts.
don't even remember what I spent money on yesterday.
You
yeah,
get
I just know I
receipts.
spent money.
Yeah, you get receipts, and that's why they have a data banking app, which is basically you have your favorite bank or the bank that you're with has an app, and so does Cash App, so does Venmo, so does Paper App.
yeah.
Those things exist so that you can keep track of your taxes. And when you're giving money back and forth with no reason or no way, like say if you're just trading money with someone, they get suspicious,
Yeah,
especially if it's a lot of money. This money is unaccounted for. It's not being taxed. Who is it and where is it coming
they
from?
definitely be on it. But they definitely, well, yeah, they collect a lot of information. But your bank do can your bank statements and records, all your transactions and whatnot. So that's
It's,
another part of data that people don't gotta keep grabbing receipts if you use a debit card.
yeah, I think that's the rawest form of data actually to receive. It's data on paper, which is one of the rare things you'll see.
I mean, all right, ways to use your data responsibly
Like,
is, like I said before, your main data that you want to keep to yourself is your social security number, credit cards numbers, and everything. And that's simple as you not looking at it. I'm not gonna put it in the the system whatnot. But people take a lot of people get creative with like using other people things. So using data responsibly, you can be using data responsibly all your life and still something to a bad. So,
yeah,
but ways to do it is just like how I do it responsibly. I do open source material, as though I don't go use nobody private data and use it so I can make it public. That's that I get sued for that. So I tend to use open source data sources. That's the way I use it responsibly. And how you can be mindful and wisely of the data you use. Don't be on your phone all day. Because if you don't use data, they can't use it against you. so be mindful. Put your phone down sometime.
Another tip that I can give about doing, being mindful of how you use it. Data is data. It gets collected every day, all day. Nothing that you put on the internet ever gets erased because it may be gone from sight, but if you get in trouble with the law, you can let it by. And that's not even fair if they don't allow that type of tech on the street. We gonna say, just be careful what you post and what you put your name on to. Be careful what you condone around you, and don't be caught photo bombing or video bombing everybody in my picture. Don't do it. It is 4 minutes left until we end this, and I do love all of you, but I know that we have said for Julius time about a little too fast on this, don't you think?
All right. Before I start the jewel, I want to say this to everybody. I want everybody to take the time, sign up for what we talked about, what we gonna need, and I want you to go find a data set that you wanna use to do this. I'm not saying everybody have to do this, but it would be nice to know going
Help
into
us
this.
out, give us something for.
But so when we come on here next month, we're gonna learn how to. I already told you how to go get it. Now I'm gonna tell you how to clean it and get what you want out of it. So next month we're gonna get down to business so we can drop these jewels right now. And I got one. One that always pops in my head is if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So with that, don't just go out there and just tell everybody how to do it. Well, do it. Don't do it for them. Teach them how to do it so they can do it for themselves.
That was amazing. I'm not following that. Maya, your turn.
Okay. Um. So I had already thought about my jewel, and the Lord is telling me to say something else right now. And I'm gonna be a good saint, and I'm gonna listen. I don't really want to use this jewel because I had one perfectly planned out, but he's telling me to say it, so I'm gonna say it. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but you either break down or you break through. Um, whatever situation you are going through at the moment, God is bigger than it. He's bigger than it. He will take care of it. Um, use your energy to create things that you're proud of, things that you love to do. Use your energy to create the life that you want to live. You will break down, you break through. I hope everybody has a good weekend and enjoy your week. And G Channel, it is now your turn.
Give it to me that. Doing this. Um, my jewel. Be patient. Be patient because we'll all come together. If you wait on the right things, doing the right things while you're waiting, you have no time for terrible distraction. And I always say to everybody I meet now, trade in those toxic problems for healthy challenges. Work it out. Now, um, we don't have pretty much any time. So, on behalf of Tech Tuesday, we'd like to rewatch this video. Try your best to find a data set, check out data work, get those things done for us because as a teacher or as a facilitator, we need to make improvements in your life. We also need to know what we're teaching It's not just for our health, but you're actually spending your time working with what we, let you guys know. So thank you for taking this hour out of your week, out of your day. Your time is precious. We love you, and good night.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Bye, y'all.